Today we are reviewing the new Ping Blueprint S irons. These have been introduced to replace the Ping i59 and they've got the S and they've got the T version. So the core version is a very small head. You're going to see largely the tour players using it. We've got the S version here, which I think is going to appeal to some of the better club golfers. So, you know, really you've got to be a good ball striker, finding the middle of the face more often than not, because if we sort of look at this in this playing position, it is a small head. I actually did have the previous Blueprint irons, which were great, but again, these feel a little bit smaller, very small footprint. Although if you do look from behind, you know, it feels, or it kind of looks quite forgiving from behind, but certainly in the playing position, a little bit different. But as I said, you know, this type of club, it is for your golfer that is very consistent, you know, in and around scratch, that's looking for that precision, looking to control your spin, all based on feel. Okay, so it is that forged head as you would expect in this iron. It looks great, you know, it really does. From behind, it doesn't really look like a Ping, if I'm going to be honest. You know, you look at where that i59 sat, was very much a Ping shape. From this behind position, you wouldn't put it as a Ping, okay? But Ping are clearly trying to evolve and sort of change the shape and change the look of it, and it does look great. So let's hit a few shots. Let's get a feel for it. The standard 7-iron here is 33 degrees, okay? So it's not designed for distance. You'd want a bit more, you can go into that power lofted 31.5 degree 7-iron, but it's more around, can we get the dispersion, can we get the control, the spin rate, and so on. There is the option to do a combo set in this. You know, if you're someone that you might want a bit of help in the sort of longer irons, the tech in this club is in the 3, 4 and 5. They've got this forging process where they're able to save some weight to redistribute to help with that, the longer irons from a ball striking point of view. Let's hit some shots. Let's get a feel for it. Let's see how it's performing. Again, this is going to be largely on feel, sound, you know, all the things you're going to be looking at in this type of club. That felt as we would expect, really, really nice, okay? The distance is actually a lot more than I was expecting as well. You know, that 178 carry is, you know, I was probably expecting this to carry closer to 165, to be honest, and that first one felt really good. Again, side total was brilliant there. Spin rate 5.1, which is pretty good. Not bad. 169. You're going to see, you know, the slightly off-centre hits, clearly, because it's not as forgiving, they're going to drop off a little bit. That wasn't too bad. Still carried 169. One thing I like, you know, you're seeing all these Ping clubs now that this bottom groove has got a painted white line. I do like that, you know, when it comes to just squaring that face off in the address position, it certainly helps you get that club face nice and square. Pretty good again, yeah. 168 carry, it's good. Feels great, it really does. Yeah, it's interesting, you know, that shot along with shot number 1, I'm quite surprised at how much distance you can create there. You know, it felt actually quite powerful off the face, considering the type of club it is. My feeling was that it was going to, you know, the distance was never going to be great, but you know, it's absolutely fine. And I say, if you are a consistent ball striker and you're really looking for that sort of feel and control, it seems to be really good. Again, spin rate's very consistent there, so you know, in terms of what it's trying to achieve, it looks like it's doing it. Yeah, nice again, really nice. Yeah, good spin again, 5.3, carry 177, really good. Solid again. Feels lovely, you know. I think, you know, in that playing position, initially to me actually felt quite small, but like a lot of these things, you know, as you start to hit a few, gain a bit more confidence, you realise actually it's probably not quite as hard to hit as normal. But you know, as I said, clearly you do want to strike it reasonably well, but it's not complete blade. Good hit. Again, you look at that ball speed, 123. Wouldn't expect that in this club. Okay, so there's clearly a little bit of speed in there, despite the focus obviously on the forging and the feel. Let's just hit one more. Yeah, nice one to finish. Really good hit. Yeah, my first impressions there, that's the first time hitting that club. Really positive, you know. I think Ping are doing a great job. They're a solid brand. They've got a good offering at the moment. You look at the iron range, you know, you've got the 730 that's just come out, then into your 430, then the I530 has just come out. You're then into your I230. So they're kind of going through all the different category of golfer. We're now into these blueprints. Okay, so you know, we are into your low handicap golfers, scratch below, and you know, really good first impressions. As I said, looks wise are great. Doesn't particularly look like a Ping from behind, but certainly in the playing position it does. And first impressions there, really good. Let's take a closer look. So let's look at the dispersion to begin with. Pretty good, yeah. I mean, as expected, you know, if you're striking it reasonably well, dispersion's going to be tight there. I think there were a couple of off-centre hits there. It's dropped a little bit, but not too much. What did surprise me was the distance. You know, really happy with that. So let's take a closer look at the numbers. So working across from left to right there. Club speed 86, maybe a little bit slower than normal, but you know, not bad. Ball speed 120 average there, in and around that, so that was really good. Launching nicely, and look at that spin column. That's a big one for me. You look at how consistent those spin numbers are. So if you're in the market for this type of club, you want those consistent spin numbers, and it's doing just that. Okay, so we know that you're going to get the consistent launch, the consistent spin to get that kind of stopping power on the green. Good height, averaging 100 feet, yeah, so it's going at an optimal height there. And then average carry 175 for 184. Okay, so we're getting that stopping power. And then the big one, plus or minus 24 feet, so it's nice and tight when it comes to that dispersion. And finally there with the land angle, 47.5 degrees. It's coming in there where the ball's landing and stopping pretty quickly. I like that balls, that 7-iron, to, if it's stopping within 10 yards, that to me says, you know, we're on the right tracks, and we've got something that's going to hold greens when you're coming in from sort of 175, 180. So all in all, really good first impressions. Definitely something, if you're in the market for this type of club, check out the Ping Blueprint S.